Jai Hind everyone. I am Vivek Kumar Pansari, Assistant Professor in Department of Mechanical Engineering at Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. In this particular video, I would like to take one complete numerical problem related to shear force and bending moment. Although earlier I covered this topic in two of my videos, where I discussed some fundamental problems, fundamental concepts related to shear force and bending moment, but in this video particularly I would like to introduce the problem which are generally asked in exams. So, from exam point of view, this type of numerical problems are important. So, that is why I have taken this particular video. Here in this video, I am not going to use the PPTs. So, how exactly you have to do the problem, this is what I would like to convey through this video. Before moving to the actual numerical problem, first we must revise the concept of shear force and bending moment. Okay, how do we go for the problems of shear force and bending moment? So, shear force and bending moment we generally discuss for a beam, and for the calculation of shear force and bending moment, the very first step is to find out the support reactions. Okay. So, obviously, first we will try to find out the support reaction for different loading condition in beam. Then the second step is to divide that beam according to the loading condition in number of sections, and then the third is try to write the equations for shear force and bending moment, and via the equations we will try to determine the value of shear force and bending moment at different sections. Then finally, we will be drawing the shear force and bending moment diagram. So, here comes the problem. Here you can see a beam A, B, C, D, E, and the dimensions between AB, it is 2 meters, it is 1 meter, bracket arrangement is there at point B. So, a load is not directly on the beam, the load is applied on beam through a bracket of 1 meter length, and a 10 kilonewton load is there. Okay. Then from point C to D, the distance is 2 meters, and between D to E it is 2 meters, and between C to D E the load is not point load, it is a uniformly distributed load. Intensity is given 3 kilonewton per meter. So, first thing what we will try? We will try to convert it in a simple free body diagram. So, by removing this, if I am considering it as a hinge support, then definitely there will be two reaction force here, RAX and RAY. So, I replaced that support by RAX and RAY. At point B, there is a bracket arrangement, and the length of bracket is 1 meter, and load is 10 kilonewton. So, whenever I am shifting a force to a parallel position, so here what I am doing? I am shifting this 10 kilonewton force to the parallel position at point B. So, whenever a force is shifted to a parallel position, it will be replaced by two things: a force of same magnitude. So, obviously 10 kilonewton was here. So, 10 kilonewton at point B, and a couple of which magnitude? The force into the length of the bracket. So, here 10 into 1. So, it is 10 kilonewton meter. This will be the bracket. From point C to E, we can see what? We can see, okay, let me write this also. From point C to E, the distances are given over 2 meters, and it is a UDL. So, now the very first step is to find out support reaction. This is a non-concurrent coplanar force system. So, for a non-concurrent coplanar force system, there are three equations of equilibrium. So, the first equation of equilibrium we can say sigma Fx equal to 0. So, as there is no horizontal force other than RAX, all other forces are vertical forces. Okay. So, RAX will be 0. So, I am not writing that particular equation sigma Fx equal to 0. I am directly coming to the equation sigma Fy equal to 0. So the equation which I am using here, sigma Fy equal to 0. It means the algebraic sum of all the forces in vertical direction, Algebraic sum means along with their signs. So here at point A, there is a force Ray which is vertically upward. At point D, there is a force which is also vertically upward, which is Rd. Then at point B, there is a vertical downward force of 10 kilonewton. So minus 10 I am taking, and from C to E there is a UDL, and I can convert this UDL into an effective load of 3 into 4 W into L. So 3 into 4, which must be equals to 0. So this is sigma Fy equal to 0. Is there any other force in vertical direction? I don't think there is any other force. The second equation which I can write here, that is the sigma m A equals to 0. What does it mean? It means the algebraic sum of all the moments due to various forces about point A equals to 0. Okay. So what are the forces? Let us start from point A. Rax and Ray, these two forces are passing through point A. So they will not create any rotational tendency about point A because the perpendicular distance is 0. Now I am coming to the second force, which is 10 kilonewton. So this 10 kilonewton, the distance of 10 kilonewton from point A is 2 meters. So I will be writing 10 into 2. Okay, the moment due to 10 kilonewton. Already a couple is existing at point B, which will also be considered when I am considering the moment about any point of beam, and the direction of the rotation of this 10 kilonewton meter is also same. So I will be writing plus 10. Now I am coming to the UDL. So 3 into 4 is the UDL, and the distance of this UDL from point A, it will be 2 plus 1 3 plus 1 4, and this UDL will be effective at the midpoint of its spread. So it is spreaded in 4 meters. So obviously 4 by 2. It means in between of the UDL it will be effective. So the total distance will be how much? 4 plus 4 by 2 for this UDL from point A. So what can I write? 3 into 4 into 4 plus 4 by 2, which I am directly writing 6. Rotational tendency because of all these is same. So positive is taken, minus another force is there, which is Rd, which is having a opposite tendency of rotation, minus Rd into how much? Rd into 6 equals to 0. So these are the two equations through which we can find out Ray and Rd. And by solving these two equations, what we will be getting? We will be getting that Ray equals to 5 kilonewton and Rd is coming out 17 kilonewton. Okay. So these are the two support reactions which are coming out. Now moving towards the shear force and bending moment calculation. So first I have to check from this diagram how many sections are required. As between A to B, we need one section plane. Between B to C, we need one section plane. Between C to D, another section plane, and between D to E. So as and when the condition of loading is changing in beam, we require one section plane to calculate the shear force and bending moment. So first I am making a section plane, a arbitrary section plane at this point. I am naming it as a 1. The distance of this plane from point A is x1. The distance of this plane x1. So by the definition of shear force, we can write the equation of shear force. Just here we can write the section 1 section 1 I am considering. So what is the definition of shear force? Mathematically, it is the algebraic sum of all the forces acting either side of the section plane. Either side means I can take the left side of the section plane or the right side. Here for the ease of problem I am choosing the side left. So, on the left side of the section plane 1, what force I am observing? I am observing only one force. I am observing only one force, which is RAY. Okay, is there any other force on the left side of the 1? No. So, RAY. So, I can write shear force at section 1, shear force at section 1 equals to plus, why plus? Because on the left side of the section plane upward it is, so I am writing in this manner, plus 5 kilonewton. Okay, this is okay. I don't think there is any problem. Similarly, I can write the bending moment equation also. Bending moment equation here I can write mx1. It is the algebraic sum of all the moments acting either side of the section plane. Means here I am considering the left side. So, obviously, I will be taking left side moment. So, force is one force is there. So, obviously, one moment will be there. At which plane? At the section plane. So, RAY is the force and the distance of this RAY from section plane is x1. So, I can write RAY into x1, x2, x3 I will be taking for differentiating. So, please do not get confused with this, nothing much. So, RAY into x1 and definitely it will be positive. RAY is 5. So, it will be 5 into x1. This section plane is valid from point A to point B, point A to point B. So, when I am trying to find out the value of shear force at point A, so as we can see from the equation of shear force that it is not dependent on x, it is not depending on any variable. So, it will remain constant from point A to point B. So, I can write S A equals to plus 5 kilonewton and S B is also plus 5 kilonewton. As we are observing that there is one vertical downward force at point B. So, B will be getting two values for point B, one value for just left side, means if the section plane is up to 1.99999 just left of the B, then the value will be taken as plus 5, or when we are coming just right of the point B, then this 10 kilonewton load will also be considered in calculation. So, on that basis we can differentiate. So, here I will be writing this is the value for the left side of the section plane. So, these are the shear force. Similarly, for bending moment also I can go for MA. So, at point A the x1 is 0. So, it will be 0. For point B, the x1 is 2. For point B the x1 variable will be 2. So, 5 into 2 it will be plus 10 kilonewton meter. The same thing applies here also, as there was a point load. So, two values of shear force for point B. Similarly, there is a point moment also, there is a pure moment also, there is a couple of 10 kilonewton meter at B. So, if I am on the left side of the point B, then this 10 kilonewton meter will not be in consideration, but whenever I am coming towards right of the point B, then this will be taken in consideration. So, here the section is on the left side. So, I will write here that this value is for left side of the point B. So, here we are getting two values. Now, the important thing, simultaneously we must draw the shear force and bending moment diagram also. So, I am coming to this shear force diagram. Okay. At point A the value is plus 5, at point B the value is plus 5, and the equation which is here for shear force is the constant horizontal line equation. So, obviously, the diagram between A to B will be constant horizontal line, and the value it will be plus 5 kilonewton at point A and at point B. Okay. This is for the bending moment at point A it is 0, at point B it is plus 10, it is plus 10, and the equation is inclined line equation with positive slope. So, here I can, okay. So, this is the A and B, these are the shear force and bending moment. Now, take another section between B and C. So, here I am taking another section at B and C, and the distance, arbitrary distance which I am taking here is x2, x2. Okay. So, now we will try to write the equation for shear force and bending moment for section 2. Here I have taken the section 2, okay, section 2. So, the shear force and bending moment equation for this, okay, section 2 I have taken. Again I am saying these x1, x2 I am only for taking for the purpose of differentiation. Shear force at section 2. Definition: it is the algebraic sum of all the forces acting either side. So, on the either side, now forget about this section 1, consider it was not there. Okay. Now, I am focusing on section 2. So, what are the forces on the left side of the section plane? There are two forces, RAY and tan. RAY will be considered as positive, this will be negative. So, I can write here RAY is plus 5, this is minus 10. So, it is coming out minus 5 kilonewton. Okay. Similarly, I can go for the bending moment equation. It is the algebraic sum of all the moments either side of the section plane. So, as on the left side of the section plane there are two forces RAY and tan. So, there will be moment also, okay, because of RAY, the RAY into x2 and the tendency of rotation will be clockwise. So, it will be taken as positive. So, RAY into x2. Another force, this is tan, okay. So, the moment due to 10 kilonewton about section 2. So, the distance of 10 kilonewton from section plane 2, it will be x2 minus 2, x2 minus 2. So, minus 10 into x2 minus 2, x2 minus 2. There is another moment here, this, and it is on the left side of the section plane and clockwise. So, this will be also treated as positive. So, plus 10. So, this will be the equation for section plane 2 for bending moment. Now, this section plane is valid, this equation is valid from just right of B to point C. So, for point B I can take x2 as 2, okay. But here when we are observing the equation, so this is the constant horizontal line equation. So, B will be minus 5, and now the section plane is on the right side. So, the value of shear force from this equation will be the value of right side of the point B. Similarly, I will be getting SC, which is equal to minus 5 kilonewton. So, why we are getting two values of shear force at point B? Because of this point load of 10 kilonewton on the left side of the section plane, it is not considered. On the right side, it will be considered. Okay. So, that is why we are getting two values. Similar thing will happen with the bending moment also. So, for point B, for bending moment calculation, for point B, when I am taking B, so x2 is 2, so this will become 0, this will become 0, and x2 is 2, so 5 into 2 plus 10 it will be, so it will be 20 kilonewton meter, and it is on the right side as the section plane on the right side of the B. So, I am writing it is the value of bending moment for point B for the right side. For point C, the value of x2 is how much? For point C, the value of x2 is 4. Value of x2 is 4. So, now I am putting the value here. So, 5 into 4 minus 10 into 2. So, 20 plus 10. So, it is coming out plus 10 kilonewton meter. Now, we can draw the shear force and bending moment diagram also. So, for point B there is another value of shear force which is -5. So, it is -5. From B to C it is a constant horizontal line. So, it will remain constant horizontal line. Okay. The equation you can see, it is a constant horizontal line equation. For bending moment equation, the values 20 kilonewton meter for the right side of the point B. So, here there will be a vertical shift 20, and for point C there is 10 kilonewton meter. So, 10 kilonewton meter at this point also. Okay. So, this will be the bending moment diagram. There is a vertical shift here at point B. Diagrams are slightly overlapping. So, please understand, above one is for the shear force and the lower one is for the bending moment, and there is a vertical shift in shear force and bending moment both because of the point load and point moment. Now, I will be taking the third section between C to D. This I am taking as a section number 3, and the distance from here, it is arbitrary distance I am taking, it is x3. Okay. So, by the definition of shear force and bending moment, now we would like to write the equation for shear force and bending moment. Section 3, I am considering shear force at section 3, algebraic sum of all the forces on the left side of the section plane. Forget about section 1 and 2, section 3. So, how many forces are there? RAY 10 and UDL. How much UDL? This much of UDL will be taken into consideration. Okay, not nothing else. So, the equation will be like this: RAY, it is +5, this is -10 and minus how much? UDL, this UDL. Okay. So, 3 into length. How much is this length? From the C to section plane 3. So, from A to section plane it is x3, from A to C it is 4. So, it will be x3 minus 4, the UDL portion which is on the left side of the section plane. So, I can write -3 into x3 minus 4. So, now what thing we can observe? As we are entering in the UDL region, the shear force equation becomes inclined line. Okay, and this equation is valid from where? From C to just left of D. So, now I can write the values also. For point C, what can I take? For point C, I can take x3 equal to 4, and for point D, I can take x3 equal to 6. And whenever I am calculating these, so shear force at C, I am putting x3 equal to 4. So, this becomes 0. It is coming out -5. You can check the calculation. Okay. And x3 equal to 6. So, this will be 6 minus 4, 2, 3 into 2, 6, and -5. So, it will be -11 at point D. -11. Okay. I do not think there is any issue. -11 kilonewton, and here also there is a effect of point load. So, at point D also we will be getting two values, one for the left side, one for the right side. So, here I can write this is the value for just left of point D. So, this must be very clear. Similar, we can go for bending moment equation for section plane 3. So, there are three forces RAY. So, the distance of RAY from section plane is x3. So, 5 into x3, this will be the first moment. Second will be 10 into x3 minus 2. Third will be 10 kilonewton meter, and fourth will be because of this UDL. Okay. So, I am writing one by one. Okay. Because of this 5 into x3, 5 into x3, it is because of this. Then because of 10 kilonewton, 10 into x3 minus 2, tendency will be negative minus 10 into x3 minus 2. Then I am considering this. So, this will be positive, this will be positive on the left side plus 10. Then I am considering this much of UDL. So, the load of UDL is 3 into x3 minus 4, and this 3 into x3 minus 4 will be effective on the midpoint of this distance x3 minus 4. So, the distance of this from this section plane will be x3 minus 4 by 2. Again I am repeating, I am considering only the x3 minus 4 distance span of UDL, and this load which is under consideration when I am converting into a single point load, it will be effective on the midpoint, and this midpoint will be x3 minus 4 by 2 distance from section plane. So, now here I can write minus 3 into x3 minus 4, this is the load, and the distance of this load from section plane 3 will be x3 minus 4 by 2. Now, here you can observe the equation becomes parabolic. This is parabolic, x3 square is coming, and for finding out the value of bending moment for point C, x3 equal to 4. So, this term will become 0. Okay. Now, it becomes 5 into 4 20 plus 10 30 minus 20. So, it is coming out how much? It is coming out how much? How much is the value? So, for this point x3 for point C, it is 4 na. So, 5 into 4 20, 20 minus 20 0. So, it is 10 kilonewton meter it is coming out for point C, it is 10 kilonewton meter, and for point D the distance is how much? 6. So, now put the value 6. So, 5 into 6 30, 30 minus 40 minus 10 plus 10 0, then 6 minus 4 it is 2, and this 2 is getting cancelled. So, minus 6 kilonewton meter it is coming out for point D, minus 6 kilonewton meter. So, I hope the calculation is quite clear. Okay. Now, we can draw this. This is for point C, this is for point C. Okay. So, this is point C, and for point D how much it is? For point D, it is shear force at point D is minus 11, and the equation for section 3 is inclined line equation with negative slope. So, here for point D I can draw this, and this will be like this, inclined line like this. Okay, na? There must not be any problem. This is minus 11. Okay, and this is for the left side, and the bending moment for point D, it is minus 6, and the equation is minus x square. So, minus x square. So, I will be taking it here, and it must be parabolic. Okay, na? Parabolic. Slightly bear with the diagram because of the writing issues. Okay. So, this is the minus 6. Now, up to point D it is clear. Now, I am taking the last section between D and E, and the distance from here it is x4, it is x4. Okay, na? It is x4 distance. Now, we can write the equation from here. Okay, for the this is section 4. By the same way we can write the equation for shear force and bending moment, algebraic sum of all the forces. So, what are the forces? Now, we can write very quickly 5 minus 10 minus UDL plus RD. Okay. So, we can write. So, we can write for the section 4 shear force at section 4, we can write 5 minus 10 plus RD minus 3 into x4 minus how much? X4 minus how much? From here to here it is x4, and with how much UDL we are considering? From C to this. So, the distance of C from this, it is 4. So, x4 minus 4 I can write. Okay. So, here what is the change? This RD is coming into picture, and by this equation we can get the value of shear force from point D, from the just right of D up to point E. So, at point D, when I am calculating, so for point D the distance is 6, the distance is 6. So, we can put the value 6 here. So, it will be 5 minus 10, RD is how much? RD, the value of RD is how much? RD kitna tha? 17, RD is 17, and minus 3 into 6 minus 4. So, how much it is coming out? Minus 5 minus 6 minus 11. So, it is coming out how much? At point D, it is 6 kilonewton. Is it correct? Please check the calculation. It is 6. Okay. And for point E, whenever we are putting for point E, the distance is 8. So, whenever we put 8 here, it will be coming out 0. Now, the bending moment equation we can check. How many moments are there? We can check the moment. Moment due to RAY, moment due to 10 kilonewton, this couple, then the moment due to UDL and the portion of UDL which is on the left side, and moment due to RD. So, we can write the equation here. Okay. 5 into x4 plus this is 10 kilonewton meter couple minus 10 into x4 minus 2, okay, minus 3 into x4 minus 4. Similar way, x4 minus 4 divided by 2 plus RD and the distance of RD. All these terms must be clear. Okay, na? 5 into x4, 10 into x4 minus 2, the distance between B to section plane, then this 10 kilonewton meter, then 3 into x4 minus 4 is this UDL which is under consideration, and it will be at the midpoint, and the distance from the section plane will be x4 minus 4 by 2, and from the RD it will be x4 minus 6, x4 minus 6. So, I am writing here x4 minus 6. Okay. For finding out the value of bending moment for point D, we can take 6, we can take x4 value as a 6. So, it will be when you are calculating, it will be minus 6 kilonewton meter, and for point E, put the value of x4 as a 8. So, it will come out 0. Equation parabolic x square. Okay. So, now we can draw the shear force and bending moment diagram also. So, for point D, we are having two values of shear force, one for the left side, minus 11, and for the right side we are having a value of 6 kilonewton. So, that we can draw here. Okay. And here it will be an inclined line. So, it will become 0. At point D, the value of bending moment from both the equation are minus 6, and at point E it is 0, and both the equations are parabolic. So, it will be connected through a parabola. This is. So, like this we can write the values of shear force and bending moment also. We can show the positive and negative also. Okay. We can also find out the point of contraflexor. This is the point of contraflexor where the bending moment is changing its nature. So, it is in between point C and D. So, by putting this equation between C to D, this is the equation. So, by putting this equation 0, we can get the value of x3, which will represent the point of contraflexure. Here at two places shear force is changing, or shear force is getting 0. So, at these points the bending moment will be maximum. So, like this we can solve any problem of shear force and bending moment. Students, I tried to convey all the things related to shear force and bending moment, how to go for a problems which are generally asked in exam. I hope it will be helpful to you. So, thank you. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you very much.